I like when Nick gives a compliment that we do our best work when we're in our natural flow state. You know, we're not over hyping or producing or
Yeah.
scripting anything out. Like, by the way, none of this is script. I've had people literally say, Nick, so do you guys don't script any of that?
None.
Like, no, we have notes, but like, there's
No,
nothing
no,
scripted
but
here.
here's the deal, guys.
You have zero.
I don't have notes.
Yeah.
I don't. And for if we have longer emails, sometimes Rob will Slack those to me and go, "Hey, check this out. You know, we're going to talk about it." I mean, but those are usually pretty detailed emails.
Yeah.
In truth, guys, like there's nothing in front of me. Rob doesn't email me anything.
No teleprompter. No.
Here's the thing. I was just talking to you about this on another project doing stuff on camera.
Mm-hmm.
My brain, when somebody like gives me like a script,
Yeah.
Rob's seen it. I just don't do well. Like so actually we have to dumb this down because I'm on the podcast.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true. That's not true. I will say it is a bit of a gift or a talent that people can develop the longer you do it. Nick's just happened to be podcasting for a long time. He's dealt with customers, so you talk to people for a long time and for long periods of time. Otherwise, it would sound, I can get it where like if you're trying to get into it, because people have asked like, how did you guys get into podcasting? It's like, dude, that's such a long story for many different reasons, whether it was business, whether it was a hobby, whether it was like whatever it was. So it's just one of those things you just get into like anything else. It's just like, I'm sure if you were paint polishing or doing any of the stuff you've done, you weren't good at it at the beginning. You've had stories where you were literally burning and ruining stuff at the jump.
And for anybody out there, it's just about everyone's bad, right? Like nobody starts out and they're great at anything, right?
Yeah.
So anybody out there that has a specialty in their business and feels like they have something to talk about, literally plug a microphone into your computer and start recording a podcast. And by the 10th one, you'll be better than the first one, and so on and so forth. I mean, I think people want bigger advice than that. And I know there's a lot of people that try to be specialists and give you bunches of advice. That's the actual advice.
Yeah, that's true. And I've seen a lot of people in other industries too give you all this like crazy, like magical steps to accomplishing whatever it is, and then really it's like it's kind of the same boring stuff over and over
again. Turn the
again.
microphone on. That's the deal.
Just give it a go. All right, let's shift into some car news. So, have you heard that Ford is probably putting the F-150 Lightning on the chopping block?
I'm shocked, Rob.
Oh my, dude. So was I. I was taken aback.
Yeah. So we reintroduce a beloved product that has no attachment to said beloved product, and we're shocked we have to cancel it. I.e., this was the Supra news. We're going to re-release Supra. We're going to have BMW basically build it. We can't believe it's not selling. And again, when we all look at this, I think inside the Ford building, they're shocked.
You really think so?
100%. 100%. I think Chevy is shocked that all of their EV stuff didn't work. I think everybody's shocked. I think they thought this was smart. Because the other way we would have to believe is they go, this is really stupid and we're going to dump a bunch of money in it. Do you think that's what the executives there think?
I don't know at this point. I really don't know at this point. That's a good question.
I mean, I'd ask all the listeners that question. I mean, at some point...
Yeah, tell us in the comments. Leave us a comment early on in the show.
And I will say that I think my belief is they thought... And again, Ford is in a unique position because Mach-E did well out of the gate by using the Mustang name.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of went down the wrong road early and thought, if we just start revamping these older names, that this is going to draw. But the Lightning was a limited thing anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't like beloved by everybody. It was beloved by people like us and you guys listening. That's a small percentage. And anytime I see a Lightning around, I don't know how you guys feel. I can't believe anybody bought them.
100%. Especially when I see them literally out in the country areas, in the rural areas. I'm like, what happened? Did you win this? Like, why is this?
Was this one of those goofy giveaways on the internet?
Yeah. How many hoodies did you buy or hats did you buy from one of these companies to win that truck?
Yeah. And again, I think we all need to say this. The companies were kind of forced into this stuff. The EV stuff was shoved down their throat with some EPA stuff and all this other. So you and I have a unique view of like some of this stuff was out of necessity.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to do it this way. You didn't have to tarnish the Lightning name. You didn't have to tarnish the Mustang name by building an EV with the name on it. You didn't have to do that. If you really weren't bought in, you wouldn't tarnish the names that actually mean something in your brand. That's my opinion on it.
That's a really good point. You know, we've talked about how the prices of cars have gone up, and trucks are always at the top of that list because trucks have just gotten so expensive, right?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
across
nuts.
small,
It's nuts.
large, or super expensive. So what I started seeing this past 5-7 days is that all cars, essentially, the average price of all cars, not just trucks, have reached $50,000 or above. So one, it could be, dude, and it's not. Could it be? All right, you tell me. Is it that there's just that many base models not being made? We've already talked about this, where people are just being pushed into more expensive models by default because there's nothing else to choose from, or is it that people are opting for the expensive ones even if they do find a base one of the car they're looking for?
I think people love the elevated trims. I think it's both, but I think people really believe they're getting something special by getting an elevated trim. Well, it doesn't even matter. You could probably only go back a decade, right? Maybe 15 years. Fully loaded meant something.
Right. Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So you would say, I got this ... car, truck, SUV, whatever, and it was fully loaded.
Yeah.
And it was truly, there was nothing, that meant there was no other option to get on the car. There's nothing else to get. This is fully loaded. You now have people, and we see it in comments all the time, saying, well, I bought a fully loaded 4Runner. It's like, well, actually, fully loaded is TRD Pro. That's their fully loaded. But people get like, what is it, limited or whatever, the one of 8,000 names they have.
Yeah.
They have this situation where those people believe they got a fully loaded car. Like, you got to hand it to these manufacturers and these dealers. They're just tricking everybody into what is actually worthwhile options. So I think a lot of this started when you and I bought a fully loaded car 10, 15 years ago. It meant there was nothing else to get on the car. Now people are like paying, $58,000 for a car, and they're like, well, it's fully loaded. It's like, no, they got one that's $72,000. Like, I don't think you know what fully loaded means.
This is so fun to talk about because I'm sure people listening, you guys understand that we're never coming at it like you shouldn't spend this amount. You should spend whatever you want.
It's your
on
money.
whatever you want. Yeah, spend whatever you want on whatever you want. But it is fun to talk about these stories. So somebody sent me a video yesterday of a guy kind of reviewing going over a truck where he was like, I can't believe truck prices, right? It was we'll call it a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500.
Oh, yeah. Hey, boy, they feel some type of way about those GMC Sierras.
If we were to use the phrase that we just used, top level trim, maxed out, the whole thing, what do you think it tops out at today in 2025 for 1500? That is MSRP. That's where we're starting, bro. I'm talking about topped out with all the bells and whistles.
Is it like 95?
Sir, I said topped out, sir. What part of topped out?
Tell me there's not a GMC Sierra for 6 figures.
Oh, yeah. AT4 with the 8-inch lift.
I forgot.
AT4s,
I forgot that they added this AT4.
So now that I said that, AT4 with the wheels and tires and lift.
106.
117.
No way.
Nick's about to freak. He's gonna fall out of his chair.
Where are we at here? Where are we at? I mean, again, if that is your dream truck, you got the money, it's your money. Do you know how much fun stuff, guys? I want people to maybe this is the first episode you listen to, right?
I thought Nick was having a stroke for a second there.
I gotta be. I have a 2-car solution that includes a V8 manual M3 for under 60 with the LX.
That's a great 2-car solution.
I'm gonna tell you this: way better than an AT4 just to drive back and forth to soccer practice. Okay, way cooler, way more
night
options.
vision though, he's pimping out in the
yeah,
stories.
I got night vision. You don't
that.
have night vision on an AT4.
I barely have any vision. Huh?
Yeah. So, I say this pretty direct. Imagine the 3 to 4 cars you could get for 117. And by the way, that's not even tax, title, and everything.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So in most states, you're at what, 8% or more on tax.
Yeah, I think 6.5 here.
Okay, so let's just say an average of probably 8.
Yeah.
Go ahead and add another $10,000.
Yeah.
Now you're at 127. I don't know what your registration is here in Nevada. Registration's based on the value of the car. because we don't have quote unquote state tax.
Right.
Just like in Texas, no state tax, but to live where you want to live, it's $2,200 a month in property tax. I love these no tax states.
I
right?
know.
Yeah, I mean, Rob lives there.
Yeah.
The place I was going to move in Houston, I would have paid $2,200 or $2,300 a month in property tax every month, just so people know.
The property discussion, and Nick's had his fair share of real estate endeavors, is unreal. I mean, I had cities and county fights about property just 12 months ago, 18 months ago.
Yes, so in Nevada, let's just say you have 8%, but then you have registration, and registration is bonkers here. I mean, just bonkers. Plain, simple, easy for people to understand. And so we really got to put into perspective here. You're talking about $130,000 for a not so special truck that other people can buy. I got to believe with my talent, I got a 4-car garage that blows that away.
For not even $650.
I might have a BMW M3 manual, an Aston.
Oh, true.
Okay.
Yep,
and I can get an AMG wagon.
You can. I've been seeing those more and more come up on these Bring a Trailer websites.
I mean, think about what we're talking about here. I could have an LX, a BMW M3 manual, an Aston, which would put me at 100, and I guarantee you I can find an AMG wagon for under 30. Now, it has some miles on it.
You might only drive it once every 6 months in fear of it breaking, but you have it.
Yeah.
Now, wrap your mind around this, bro.
Hold on. I know where you could go.
Okay.
Gen 1 Raptor. So if you wanted a truck, that's what you had to have. I have Gen 1 Raptor.
You could get the Gen 1 Raptor and then a trailer for the second generation Lightning as well and still be under all that. Like, you really could. Wrap your mind around this.
You bought one GMC Sierra. I have an M3, an LX, I have an Aston, and I have a Gen 1 Raptor.
And then the most expensive EV little go-kart from your neighbor next door you could possibly find.
Because those are going to be $38 a month in about 2 minutes.
Okay, wrap your mind around this. Sticking on that same truck, the truck, I think it was 71, we'll say. And then it had little add-ons here, add-on there. It had a gooseneck, the whole thing. But the main package, the AT4 with the lift and the wheels and the tires, what do you think that one package cost alone? What was the add-on for that?
$17,000.
$25,000.
Let's say this to all you truck guys out there. Suspension, tires, and wheels.
Never been cheaper.
Never been cheaper. We just talked about the off-road scene at SEMA. Never more suppliers, never more people to get stuff from. You can get probably top of the line all in. What would you think you'd be in? 10 grand?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's if you went crazy. And by the way, the most costly thing's the rubber, as you and I found out in the last week.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. This is just bizarre. And they wouldn't be doing it if they weren't selling. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Right, which you've said famously, just go 30 days. Just go 30 days. You're going to see an ultimate drop. If you need to step away, by the way, let me know. I don't know if somebody's over here.
I didn't know what was going on outside here.
Okay, look, so if somebody said, hey, we're going to collectively encourage people not to do that, some might say, hey, you're kind of moving markets with the show. Can you really do that? I think we could. We would never ask you to do that, but we're just trying to give you the best advice to say, if you're tired of these prices, when I saw 117 and I did not take into account what you just said, which was taxes and everything else, I was like, damn, that's a huge ticket price, and then you're still adding another 10 to that. It kind of hurts my heart, you know?
I mean, you could get a CT5V manual.
Yeah, for like 90 or 86. I've seen some for 86 now.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. But then you don't have the bed, bro. The functionality of the bed.
You can't throw a shovel in the back. You can't go buy your grill at Home Depot and transport it home. I mean, what are we doing? For you truck guys, you have to really explain to me what we're doing. I just came from SEMA, which is Truck Central outside. Never seen more corny builds and, just terrible taste. And that's been that way for a decade or more. So I'm not saying it just happened today. You guys have to explain to me what's going on. I mean, there's just so much better stuff to buy. Now, if you go, hey, I'm a contractor, I use it all the time, I'm on job sites all the time, all that kind of stuff. By the way, you and I went to a job site in an LC 500. People can say whatever they want. I just took the stuff right on the dirt. I was like, let's go.
Which, by the way, that gentleman was driving the truck you would expect him to be driving.
Yeah. And cool, man. Whatever. It's your money. We got to say this all the time. It's your money.
Your money.
But somebody has to explain. I can get a 4-car solution, still get a truck. I think the Gen 1 Raptor is way cooler than a brand new AT4. I don't care who builds it. Yeah. It's cooler than the newest Raptor. I mean, maybe Raptor R is cooler. Maybe a TRX would be cooler. Yeah, I mean, there's some arguments there. You can get cooler stuff for a better price. I don't understand any of this. And the truck market, as a guy that owns a lot of trucks in his business, I've never understood. It's never spoke to me. It's just never been something that speaks to me.
The truck, you're talking about the truck scene in general?
Yeah, just the truck scene, the lifted truck thing. Again, I love Raptors. I think they did a great job. I thought the TRX was cool. There's some cool stuff out there. I'm not saying I don't understand that part of it. The prices people pay for trucks is kind of what makes the truck scene one of those things I just go, somebody has to explain it to me.
Okay, let's play a little game here. Thanksgiving's coming up. It's around the corner.
You can put the turkey in the back of your AT4.
You can put the whole fryer in the back so you can fry it when it spills over.
It probably comes with the truck now.
You're probably right. It's attached to the gooseneck is what it is. Hello, of course it is. If you were to close your eyes and we were to reminisce, go down nostalgia memory lane, at 8 to 10-year-old Nick, what is that one vehicle that you see when you're driving to grandpa's house or one of your family members' house during Thanksgiving as an 8 to 10-year-old? What is that vehicle? What's the nostalgia vehicle?
I grew up in a pretty heavy truck town. I mean,
I figured you did.
Like, you remember the old F-250 Power Strokes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be.
Dad still has one.
That would have been kind of pretty normal behavior,
So, I'm gonna pull up this really cool video. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, I'm gonna have to cut this part out for the YouTube bits, and then you're gonna get right back into it. Audio, you can definitely listen to it, but YouTube will ding us. This was like when people say the perfect video doesn't exist. I'm gonna show you the perfect video right here, and listen to the music too.
Yeah, that would have been one. Z71
suburban or truck.
Yeah, that would have been one. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it's one of these things, man. Again, go find a Z71 from back in the day before you pay 117. Like, here's what I think. There's just no swag to the truck market at times.
True.
And again, we're talking as enthusiasts. Let's take all the people that need a truck out of it. I need trucks in my business. We're taking those out of it. Mm-hmm. Because I think if you're buying an AT4 or something of that ilk, you're trying to have some swag, right? You're spending money to have swag.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that swaggy.
Like, that's such a funny phrase. I don't think it's that swaggy. The way you said it was so funny. I'm going to give you credit for that because I was like, you just said it so nonchalantly. It's not that swaggy. Moving on, as if Nick says words like swaggy all the time.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
But it was good.
I just don't think it plays like you think. And again, it's your money. We got to say it. It's your money.
Yep. I got to say, I do think it's swaggy because I'm the quintessential truck bro. I still love trucks. I don't know what it is.
Big. You wouldn't buy that.
No, I would not. And that's the thing, like we've said it before, Nick and I could justify whether it was for personal or business. You should say, hey, we're going to go get this, sign on the dotted line, as Nick would say, for the thing. Yep. And now you're on the hook for it. But now I have saved Car Guru's, Auto Trader, all of them for trucks between like the 99 to 2007, because I like the GM stuff. I like Ford too, but like the GMT 800, platform. Those are great trucks. The Cat Eye ones, like those particular trucks were fantastic trucks. And you can find them, dude, 120, 150,000 miles is not a lot of miles for those trucks. You can fix them easily. And they're going for anywhere from 9 to 12,000.
I mean,
that's what else do you need? That is such a good truck for $9,000.
That means you could buy 12 of them.
I can get one for all the kids, for the wife, for my brother, for my uncle.
Dude, you can buy all of them.
Everybody pulls up the Thanksgiving this year in a 1999 like Silverado.
A 7.3. We've talked about this 7.3 Excursion.
Oh,
way more swag.
GM's bringing back. They're 6th generation motors, so they're gonna, I think, retire whatever's on the market right now, including the.
By the way, I saw comments where people like, "Yeah, it's a bulletproof engine," and a guy goes, "Except for the lifters and all the problems that they've had." Oh, dude, it had me laughing.
Leave it to the comment section and just make you feel like a real piece of shit.
Well, especially when you say something that's stupid when they basically said, "Hey, change the oil weight, and all your problems are fixed."
Yeah, stop sale, no big deal. What about so? Nobody hurt. Who cares? Stop sale. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I mean, we've only had 500,000+ engine replacements from Toyota. We've only had another, I don't know, million that should have been replaced at GM. But yeah, man, let's trust them. That's where we're at.
We had talked about this back in the summer about GM's investment in their plants and their motors and all that. So the 6th generation V8s are going to be introduced in 2027. 5.7. All of my Chevys from high school had a 5.7. 350 was fantastic, and then the 6.6 liter is going to be the new generation.
I thought
of
it was.
V8s.
I thought it, for some reason. Why did I have 6.7 in my mind?
Don't do this. Are you doing this right now?
Why did I have that in my mind?
Are you really doing this right now?
What do you mean? I thought it was. I thought it was a 6.7.
People right now are probably hitting their fucking radios.
Well, I don't know what's the
these
joke.
kids are the whole. I don't even know what the 6.7 thing is. Now you're gonna make me try to explain it to you.
Oh no, I don't know what that. Oh yeah, that's not. I wasn't even trying to do a funny joke. No,
dude, because you're smirking right now. I'm like, why?
No, I don't know.
Last night?
Somebody was trying to explain it. I don't know what. Hey, but can we all say when we were kids we had our problems? Who cares? Like
I go back to that. I go back to that every time.
We were DXing in the hallway, dude.
Yeah, but that was funny and cool. This shit doesn't make any sense. If you have to explain it, it's not funny.
Yeah, but you would have had to explain that to your parents. Like, hey, we're watching DX.
That's where you're wrong. It transcended age back in the day. Everybody knew what that was. Everybody knew.
That's
transcended.
Look at you over there just being dad. Get off my lawn,
dude. I fucking more grays by the week over here. Life is just coming at me fast and hard.
I hear you.
No
homo. There we go. Pause.
Good stuff. By the way, the Turbo Max engines, 2.7 liter turbocharged. I've heard almost nothing about this. The smaller GM 2.7. I don't know anybody that owns one. I don't know anybody that's really reviewed one in depth.
That's probably what, like Equinox, that.
Probably Colorado Canyon, if I had to guess.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I as everybody knows, I'm not deep in the Chevy world.
Yeah, I think we could all understand. Nick's not the biggest, with the exception of maybe the newest Corvette. I don't think there's any car you really like, other than the CT, the GM wise. But the
CT5V Blackwing. Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, nobody's new stuff really excites me that much. I mean, even Ferrari's new stuff doesn't excite me. BMW's new stuff definitely doesn't excite me. I just watched. For everybody that hasn't heard, my guilty pleasure is Harry's Garage. I love this dude. He drove an M2, and I just watched it all. I didn't even skip 1 second of it. It was only 20 minutes, and I was just enthralled. He's my favorite. He should be the biggest automotive YouTuber on the planet.
Wow.
Flat out. Like
really?
I love that dude's channel. I don't know why. It's just like soothing. He doesn't try to act like he's doing too much. Like he is one of my guilty YouTube pleasures, I guess. One of those guys that you're just like, yeah, I'm going to catch everything he does. He just did an M2. That M2's front looks a lot better than the rest of the lineup. I can tell you that.
I got to go give him more love then, because I don't. I
probably won't like it. I mean, he's not over there building semis no one's going to drive, so he's probably not your guy. He's probably
wow, shots fired, and people are going to know exactly what he's talking about without even have to say the name. How dare you? Putting this target on our backs by you saying that one phrase.
Hey, I want to ask everybody out there, because I think it's pretty cool. I've just never dug into it. It seems like Matt Armstrong's the guy changing the game, huh?
Really? How so? Please tell.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, he's like the guy getting all the views. He does basically like a build per episode. Is that it? Is that his thing? He's like, So I was listening to somebody, and I go, "Hey, man, I haven't taken a dive into it, but it seems like he's doing something."
Yeah, his Ferrari thing was the last thing I saw, probably like a month or two ago.
Yeah, that's the first thing I ever saw. I saw him pop up in short form. Mm-hmm. But I've never really taken a dive into his YouTube, so I'm going to do that because I've been getting.
Same. He's got a good personality.
He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, shout out Matt Armstrong and shout out Harry's Garage. I mean, the top 2 YouTubers today. I mean, that could change.
Well, first of all, Harry's Garage is not top 2, but he should be. He should be.
Well, yeah, and Nick's. If that's gonna be one of the videos we do. Is like next year we're gonna start doing just videos where like YouTubers will rank certain things. We'll do like S tier to like F or whatever. And we're just gonna hop on. All right, and just start ranking people like hot or not style back in the day.
Hot or not was, basically the start of Facebook. Hot or not.
Facebook, exactly. Little do people know. Maybe a CIA plot before Facebook. There was a name for this.
Let's stop.
There was a name for this. I'm just telling you.
Hey,
look into it.
Somebody get Rob. Rob's going to have FBI agents at his house after this. They're listening, Rob. They're listening.
That meme is so synonymous. My kids will like come in somewhere into a door and just be like, FBI, open up! Like that meme is again transcending time and age. Is like that's everybody knows that's funny. All right, you mentioned BMW here just a second ago. Have you had a chance to see the new spy shots of the new electric M3?
I couldn't be less interested.
That's you know what? That's too bad because this is your job. How about that?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
your
No, it's
job
not
to
my
criticize.
job. It's my job to say it's not interesting.
That's true. That's
It's
actually
not
the only part of your
interesting.
job. That is,
I'm so disappointed in BMW right now. Like, I just can't stand it. I
they're no
can't
better than
stand it.
GM. They are no better than GM. I said it. Look at that. Electric BMW M3 and X3M caught testing in the new spec. Look at that awesome camo wrap. So the first electric M models were caught alongside the next generation 3 Series with combustion engines. This looks like every Kia we've roasted for the last 11 months. Every Hyundai, or I'm sorry, Hyundai, because I was getting roasted, by the
people
way.
get real pissed off.
They get
with them.
real mad. They were like Hyundai, D-A-Y. I'm like, all right, bro. Hyundai? Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah, no. We're American, dude. That's how we say it.
Yeah. But I'm going to keep this muted, but we'll just kind of go along with some of this video here. That's the back. I mean, it's cool. Kind of looks like a Pontiac G8.
Yeah, man. Really,
like the hatchy.
really groundbreaking stuff with the camo. I don't know why anybody is interested in this. Like, more power to you if this is what you're into, but I couldn't be more bored talking about something
EV
called
M3?
an M3 with no engine in it.
An
Let me
EV
guess,
M3.
it's going to be fast because Fiskars were fast. I mean, so, okay, it's going to be fast. Terrific. It's going to make no noise or some fake BS noise. They're going to go down this whole fake gearing thing probably that everybody else is trying to do now, and we're like applauding like seals when people do fake gearing on an EV.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. Okay, it's not interesting, and the more people are buying it, and I'm talking about like enthusiasts, and we reference him because I think he's got a great channel, and I like supporting him. As Hoovy has a Silverado EV that he bought off of Hertz.
Okay.
And he just basically said, he's like, I've driven this, and after like a month, it's just not interesting anymore. And I think that sums up EVs.
Yeah.
Like,
by the way, 600 to 700 horsepower out of the gate. Just so you know. Of course. What else do you expect?
And they can turn that up if you buy the certain subscription, I'm sure.
Of course.
Like, that's the new model. If they just click the software, you go from 600 to 900, which tells you how valuable all of this is. How hard it is to engineer. So one of the things I really liked about Hoovy's, he was doing this, he was going over all of his cars, and I just find it cool that he has so much different stuff, and it's all older, and he's getting back to who he's, what he cares about. But he just summed it up perfectly. He goes, I mean, the truck works, and I got no complaints, but I'm just bored. And that's the EV experience wrapped up in a nutshell. They work. I have nothing against them. You'll be bored 2 weeks after owning it. I mean, I think that is the best thing we can say to be the kindest we can be to EVs, which is it's just not interesting after 5 minutes. An M3 with a manual gearbox is interesting 6 months in, 6 years in. As we're seeing with prices of manual cars, they're interesting for 20 and 30 years at a time. Not a single one of these cars is interesting 1 month after you own it.
And you spent 6 figures on most of them to get them.
Yes, it's Tesla has sold millions of cars, none of them interesting, right? Maybe the original Roadster has some interest in it because it's kind of a unique design, whatever. It was the first of its kind, esque type of stuff. But I think that really sums it up. And it's, as soon as I heard it, I go, yeah, that's probably how I feel. Not against it, but I'd be bored 5 minutes after owning it. And I'm going to own an EV at some time just to go through this.
Sure.
And I'll be like, yeah, kind of what we thought. Like, it works. I can, blast away from a stoplight to get to the next stoplight faster. Great.
Now, here's the real question. Would you get the EV or just get something like a Prius, some kind of hybrid?
Hey. we got gas problems out here, Rob. I was trying to tell Rob. So I got 8 vehicles I'm responsible for, 7 that are on the road every day.
Mm-hmm.
I do not own a single vehicle that's not a V8, just so everybody knows. And we've had a 25-cent increase in gas in a 2-week period. I'm paying $5.05 on every vehicle. I can't remember the last time I filled up any of my vehicles and didn't reach triple digits.
I mean, that's a flex of its own, but not necessarily the kind of flex you want to
No,
have.
it's not a flex. It's not a flex. And you and I didn't know if you were going to bring this up. I had a bunch of tires, nails, razor to tire, this and that, all kinds of different vehicles. I think I bought 6 tires in about a 3-day span. Boy, we should have really invested heavily in building a rubber plant. That seems like a great business.
I'm about to go dance like a goddamn drunk monkey over here at Discount Tire to try to get them to join the podcast somehow because they're so great handling. I needed roadside assistance because my stupid jack, I got to buy a jack today, by the way, wouldn't lift my car high enough to take the tire off because I got slightly bigger. I got meatier. I got some good old grip, some Continentals on the GTI.
And you got that Volkswagen engineering where you're like,
oh, dude, it's terrible. I thought it was going to be in one of those videos where you see the jack go up and then it just collapses automatically.
Yeah, that's a horrible feeling, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. So, and somehow I cut my finger too. I was like, what's going on here? Like, this jack is terrible. But they took care of me, right? Roadside assistance also, they had tools, obviously, and the tool broke in the middle of them patching my tire because I didn't want to ride on the donut. I was only halfway back to Austin from Houston. And I was like, just patch it up, please, the best you can. And the tool breaks as he's puncturing the tire. And out of the corner of my eye, I see, I don't think that patch went in all the way. I don't think that was done well. And it held air, and I made it home. And the next day, which was yesterday, I was talking to Nick. It was slow leaking. And I was like, I knew this shit wasn't done right.
Yep.
So I had to pay $100 for the roadside assistance, and then I had to go get the tire. And luckily, the warranty replaced it, which is like $35 to rebuy the warranty or whatever. And then you're just like, thanks, Discount Tire. You always know how to take care of me.
Yeah, I feel like this week I could have really used Discount Tire.
What?
Like for whatever reason, everything we did no longer under warranty. I just got hit for everything.
Oh,
I mean, just
worst.
everything. Then on my GX, I know that I'm probably about 6 to 8 months from full replacement. And they're like, "Hey, you should replace 2 at a time." I'm like, "I hear you, but I'm 6 months from this one coming off, all of them, and I'll just have you put it as the spare or whatever. Sure. You know, it doesn't matter." And it's just one of those weeks that as a car owner and as somebody that has a lot of vehicles on the road, I get to experience this more than most people. I just go, this is not very fun. This BF Goodrich, World or whatever it is tire you like, boy, that stuff has just gotten so expensive. And I don't usually talk about this stuff. Mm-hmm. Rubber's one of those places you go, okay, I see we're maybe at a place I'm not real comfortable with price-wise. Like, what do they hit you for your tire?
The Continentals I have on the GTI each, I think, are $215 a tire, something like that.
That's not horrible.
Not
it's
terrible.
not great.
I think my wife's were. I think I got the Goodyear, whatever the best all seasons were for the CX-5. I think those were like $260 a tire.
Man,
right? And then you do the math, and you have like disposal
seems like
for
you
each.
could just buy a new Mazda.
Oh my God! Right? Yeah, I could buy another GTI for the fucking price of those tires. Like I really could. I mean, between the disposal, the certificates, the warranties for all of them, the taxes, the whole thing, you're like, wow, that's a lot for one vehicle. And
it's
then,
a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people write in for our recommendation. The best thing you can do is stay on top of your tire rotation. You have no idea how much that helps longevity. I don't think we talk about it enough. Like, stay on the tire rotation. It sounds stupid.
Yeah. And you know what? And this is my brain. I was already there. I was like, you know what? What if we went a little bit wider? We're already here. You're only going to add like $20 and just fill out the fender wells a little bit more. And we did. And the CX-5 looks even better, which is great. I'm like, if I'm already going to spend whatever it is, $2,000.
You're already. It's not like you're going from 100 to 500 a tire. It's like you're already down the road. Let's go.
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know. They make you feel better.
Classic marketing, like at the movies, you get small, medium, large, but like the sodas are already, it's like $20, or do you like $18 for the medium? Well, shit, give me the large. It's only $22 more.
It's an even 20 spot.
Yeah, dude. So that's, a tire plant or any kind of rubber, industry.
Yeah, we should have really thought about what we wanted to do with our life, because it seems like building rubber is a profitable endeavor.
Yeah, I would have loved to have built rubber instead of playing with fucking blocks, but what can I say? My age didn't allow for it.
That's funny.
Well, to circle back around, I'm sorry that we now have to see for the next foreseeable future M3 EV everywhere.
Yeah,
it's
that will not be recognized as an M car. I'm sorry.
Didn't you have somebody try? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I had somebody that didn't understand M cars and act like he was an M expert. Yeah, we shared that. I think we shared that on the podcast.
I don't think we did, but it's funny either way.
Yeah,
it's only one letter and one number.
Yeah.
That's a real M
M5.
car.
That's an M
M3.
car.
So, speaking of things that are uninteresting, this is something that's maybe interesting, but I had not really seen a whole lot about. Are you familiar with the Abu Dhabi Autonomous Race League?
Rob, you're really pissing me off with all these things. I gotta tell everybody. I gotta tell everybody out there. He's really picked all of the things that I'm just like, we're doing this.
That's the best clip of the whole podcast. That right there is gonna be the Tim Dillon, the fucking Burt Kreischer moment where it's like, you're really pissing me off with these stories. All right, check this out, dude. The Abu Dhabi Autonomous Race League in the UAE is basically F1 with no drivers. You're just watching these cars go around the track at 200 miles an hour.
Have you ever been to a casino and played Sigma Derby?
I have not.
So it's like it's basically like this horse racing game, but it's like the old school. It's in a bubble, and then they're on like a track.
Oh,
Like the old
wow.
mechanical
Yeah.
dude. It's after a few Steve Weisers, you would love Sigma Derby. Like
Okay.
you can bet on, hey, whoever wins this picks where we go to dinner. Hey, I mean it's like it's it's pretty fun.
All right. I'm going to have to keep that in mind. Check this out, dude. I pulled it up for you, and if you're watching on YouTube. So the inaugural season was last year. The next race is like November 15th. World's largest autonomous racing league returns with a U.S. $2.25 million prize pool and global expansion. So,
Man, this puts into perspective how rich these people are.
oh, brother. Check this. I'm not going to play the sound, but maybe we can get some of the... Yeah, check this out. Nick and I are watching some of it.
Why
These are all cars.
is there music?
Yeah, there's music. So we got just really smart people. And maybe this is kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because the arguments, this is like, okay, well, all this will trickle down to consumer vehicles. All of this technology being
Well,
used
yeah, I
in
mean,
cars.
look, that is, I mean, push to start is one of those things people basically,
Right.
is basically like an F1. I still have a lot of keys in my life, so I don't get a lot of push button start in my life.
People just push your buttons, but you
Yeah,
don't have push
yeah.
button
This is
start.
pushing my buttons right here. So here's my question: is somebody like remote controlling this, or no?
No, sir. All fully autonomous. So, as in, with regular cars, so the cool, I mean, I don't know, cool, whatever, it's all relative, but everybody has the same car, the same specs of everything. The only differences are that each team has to use technology and, other electric gadgets to make their car more efficient, faster, controlled
I
better.
mean, isn't there going to be like a 15-year-old that can hack this?
Yeah, I think there's a movie back in the day with Arnold Schwarzenegger where we're going to have the inverse of that in a few years, and these cars are just going to be running people over by themselves.
100%. They're just going to be going into the crowd.
Yes.
I would ask this. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, it is funny, but isn't there just some like 13-year-old hacker that could just win this whole thing?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the people on their posters looks like it's a 13-year-old kid. Let me pull it up for you here. The avatar here of this 13-year-old is going to hack that car when he loses a race to try to kill his opponent or something, or eliminate his opponent, I should say.
So I'm one of these people. There's very little racing that I think is interesting week in and week out. I think there's I enjoy when F1 goes to Monaco.
Yeah.
Right. I know it's probably not the best driver's track or whatever people want to say, but it's in frickin' Monaco. So you get to see Monaco, which is, kind of a great place to see. I think NASCAR, and I've been to a lot of NASCAR races. I don't know, going to the race and partying is the fun part. Like watching it on TV, I'm not, without the big, flipping crashes and all that kind of, it's sort of like going to, like watching hockey on TV if you're not into hockey. Like you just want to see guys fight. But they don't fight as much anymore. Like hockey's great in person. So it's one of these things with motorsport is I just kind of wonder where it's going to go. Because, I mean, the Isle of Man, the ILTT or whatever it's called, I think that's interesting when it comes on TV. I think it's hard to tell me how interesting this stuff is when it's really hard for me to stay interested because I think I'm probably just like a lot of you guys listening. I want to be interested, but it's just getting less interesting, and I don't know why that is.
You know who might be making NASCAR interesting here in the next couple of months? Good old MJ, the GOAT. Have you seen this?
Well, MJ's already in, right?
Oh, he's in. He's real in. Have you seen what's going on with him in NASCAR?
Well, he sued them, right?
He is definitely suing them. The trial starts next month for the whole monopoly thing. And I have a video here somebody sent me. They kind of breaks this down if you want to watch it.
No, here's what I'm going to ask.
Okay.
For a guy that figured out how to become a billionaire by basically owning his own brand under Nike, why would you go against him? Wouldn't you want to bring him in and his popularity into the sport?
I'm saying. Yeah, of course.
I'm just not going against the GOAT. That's that.
No.
I mean, let's just give some life advice to all of you out there.
Ooh, I like life advice.
Okay. Life advice from Nick. Don't go against MJ.
Play the music.
Okay. Now, terrible owner as a basketball owner, by the way. Like one of the worst ever. If not the worst ever. But don't forget, he bought that team for like $300 million. I don't think he even put much money up for it. Maybe just a down payment and sold it for like $2 or $3 billion. This is a guy that gambles a lot. He fishes. He's into motorcycles. Largely doesn't have to speak to just keep making money. NASCAR is a little bit floundering. I think I'm just bringing MJ into the fold. I mean, life advice, I'm bringing MJ into the fold. Not having him sue me. I'm not doing that.
I highly suggest you. It's a little. Some of these videos are kind of long, so I suggest you guys go look up what this lawsuit kind of entails and kind of just wrap your minds around NASCAR versus MJ or MJ versus however you want to phrase it, because it is fascinating what the profit sharing and what some of these, I mean, essentially all of the teams get versus what the NASCAR entity as a whole earns. It is wild. I'm going to just go ahead and say now, I think this is going to go completely MJ's way. Unless there's some other nefarious actions that take place, this is uncovering some crazy disparity in like drivers, owners, cars, and money, money, all that stuff.
It's pretty easy to see that I think there's been, somewhere between 2 and 4 really dominant owners?
2 at this point, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you got Hendrick and Penske?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't remember the name, but yeah, that's 2 of them.
All right, let's just say those are the 2. I mean, Hendrick is definitely one of them. Mm-hmm. I would say you're probably going to find some things that have created a not so level playing field. If I just had to take a wild guess, I don't think everything is intelligence. I think there's probably been some things that have created this unlevel playing field.
Oh no, it's France and Smith. These are 2 families. Basically,
they own NASCAR, but I'm saying the teams.
Yes.
I bet you're going to find a lot of, and what's crazy. So for anybody that isn't into the lawsuit type of stuff, usually what companies like NASCAR want to avoid is discovery.
Yeah, they're going to settle this shit for sure.
Yeah, so discovery is basically you got to turn over everything we asked for, or you're breaking the law, right? So that's why when people hear settlement, they go, well, why did they settle? Well, they don't want the emails and the phone calls and the text messages and all the stuff that goes into discovery to come out. I mean, that's Law 101 from a guy that has no business talking about Law 101.
Hey, we've already covered all the other fucking subjects. You know what? Let's run the gamut.
Hey, life advice from somebody who's not a lawyer.
I'm playing the harp music in the background right now as soon as we make clips of this. All right, check this out real quick, and then we'll move on. Teams only receive about 25% of revenue, which is around $10 million per car, while it costs $20 million to race each one.
Yes.
Okay? NASCAR just signed a $7.7 billion TV deal with 65% of the profits going to France and Smith families. Make it make sense. How do you make this?
Seems like a good deal for the France and Smith families.
Yeah, no shit, right? How are these teams with all these cars supposed to make it work?
Well, and I think that's been the argument of motorsports for generations, is that it's basically a losing endeavor, which then limits whoever has the money to just waste, right?
And this is worse than the WNBA. Who's subsidizing all this? What is going on?
I think it's one of these weird things, man, and I'll say this about motorsports for me. I'm looking to get interested, but at every turn it's getting less interesting. Like, I think F1 has even gotten to a place for me. I got to really want to see. I think they have the night race in Singapore. Mm-hmm. It's cool to see. Okay, so you're going to watch a little bit of that when it comes on because you go, hey, I mean, I'm in a real trouble right now. I don't even get ESPN. I got YouTube TV. I mean,
Fubo, brother. Fubo. I don't know, Fubo TV. You got to have Fubo now.
I got to have 58 things, Rob. I already got 7,000.
I did the math. It's still cheaper. It's still cheaper. You get all the subscriptions. It's still cheaper than if you get the most expensive cable package right now, it's still about $50 more expensive than getting all the subscriptions.
Well, the crazy part to me, I want to, everybody, this is another, put this in the comments.
Please tell us.
The flipping back and forth. trying to watch multiple things, that's what I can't get figured out. So I got to go to Fubo to watch. But if the ESPN game's on commercial, how do I flip back to YouTube TV and not have all of this headache?
Ooh, yeah, because it's in different apps. You can't multicast simply like that.
Yeah, you can't.
Guess.
I mean, Rob, you can't act like a youngster here. You flip channels in your lifetime.
Yeah, of course. No, of course. Yeah, I don't flip them anymore because I'm no longer a pedestrian. I
Sorry,
you
Rob.
know,
Sorry,
MLB
sorry.
TV keeps all the games on one TV.
Rob, sorry. You're so, like you said, that's real swaggy. I don't have to do that. I don't even do that anymore.
Well, that's perks of watching one sport. All right,
Yeah.
it's the gentleman's sport, baseball.
That's about to go on strike.
Hey, yeah. Especially if the Dodgers get what are they're going to get Kyle Tucker from the Cubs and someone else from the Yankees. Like, what are we doing here?
Hold on, they're going to get your boy from overseas.
Oh, the other Japanese pitcher as well. Yeah.
The dude that just hits bombs.
Yeah. What are we doing here? We're just literally building the Avengers with like every Infinity Gauntlet stone. And
by the way, they didn't even have to be their best, and they won the World Series.
Well, they barely won, but yeah.
But hold on. Again, if you play your C game and you win, that tells you if they play their A game, they're going to blow everyone out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. $1 billion in pitching payroll and barely made it. But hey, they did indeed make it.
Yeah, I can't really take someone serious who was banging on drums in their dugout to win a World Series.
Okay, because Mookie Betts didn't have fucking Apple Watch. Everybody's had a controversy, but no one will let the Astros controversy go. That's really rich. Really rich.
Go Bucks.
Just now we end the podcast with that. Go Bucks, and then just stops. Like, what the hell happened to the show? Okay. So to put a pin in that one, please go read up on the story. I think it's gonna be fascinating. And to bring it full circle with the Abu Dhabi story, I think this is all gonna just roll into every car league fucking racing thing is gonna be autonomous cars.
NASCAR, I would actually believe anything.
Because NASCAR would be even easier. Autonomous NASCARs versus F1 NASCAR or autonomous cars.
Essentially you have one turn. go left. I mean,
what is happening to our lives, Nick? What is happening?
This is why I ask everybody. I want to be into motorsports. I mean, there's things that I find interesting. I think we're getting less interesting by the moment. Like
you know what? Who's innovated in a really good way? That the golf league where you do like the indoor and
TGL.
Oh, dude, I think that's super cool.
They're onto something. They're onto something. And again, as long as they can bring Tiger into the fold, they're going to be fine. Mm-hmm. So you don't have Tiger sue you. You say, "Hey, Tiger, do you want to be a part?"
There you go. MJ's going to be like, "You see what they did?"
Hey, if MJ was like, "Hey, I want to be a part of Clutch Culture," I'd be like, "Rob's out. See you, Rob. We're gone.
Wow.
It's me and the goat."
Wow.
But here's the deal. You got to admit.
You just kicked the podcasting goat to the road. What are you talking about? Wow.
You just don't go against the goat. That's just life advice 101.
Are you a sneakerhead? Were you ever a sneakerhead?
So when I played hoops, yeah, because I always wanted to own Jordans, or Barkley had some cool shoes. He had the pumps, right? You remember David Robinson with the Forces? That's kind of. But I was into hoops, so that was more like that thing.
So you'll probably have a take on this too, since we're talking about MJ. I'm not a huge sneakerhead. One of my brothers is a huge sneakerhead, but there's these Jordans, that have gone up and down in price over the years, classic ones and whatever. So Nike has re-released these black ones. I don't know which ones they are, right? You might know, but they released them probably like 5 years ago, and people went crazy for them. They used to sell for like $70, ended up going for $700, $1,000 plus. Well, now they're reintroducing them again. And the problem is that the way they were made, they endlessly squeak no matter how much you break them in, no matter what you do. And people are losing their minds, right? Because they waited for so long. So there's another company, I think it's called On Cloud or On Running.
Yeah.
They have a similar silhouette of a shoe, and their shoes also, they started selling them, and they squeak endlessly. So Nike and I think I don't know if they're related in any way, but huge lawsuit. People are like, these are made out of like styrofoam and foam, which is squeaking. Everything is degrading in quality, other than Clutch Culture Podcast, which is only going up.
Yeah, it's only going up. We're only going up. We're quality driven here, as you can tell by these stupid conversations we have every week.
What are you talking about? These are incredible conversations.
So, the patent leather Jordans, you remember with the white with the patent leather? Mm-hmm. That was a big one for me. I'm lucky enough that I do. It's probably at one of my family's houses. I have a unworn Jordan 1s. Somewhere somewhere one of my family members has it in an attic or something like that. But I was gifted. I would say there was something about Jordan back then, meaning like he was wearing them,
Right,
So
right,
you
right.
were like, oh, I got to get these, or I got to save every nickel from whatever side gig you had as a little,
Hmm.
a youngster, delivering papers or whatever. That's more where I stopped. Today, because I've dealt with plantar fasciitis, I'm just trying to find shoes that don't give me plantar fasciitis. So
God,
I'm not the
what an
most
old man thing to say,
dude.
but but so many people could
If
deal with it.
anybody has ever had it, and it happened to me, I remember feeling it kind of tear when I was on a mat, and I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, it's no big deal. Just kind of gonna hurt for." Then it
put
just
some
hurt.
dirt on
Then it
it.
just
Rub
hurt
some
for
dirt
like.
on it.
Then it just hurt for like a year.
God
You know what I mean? It
dang.
didn't. It was just one of those things. So now I'm like, anytime I get up in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a step. It really like messed with my brain. I've had a
Yeah.
lot of injuries. That is one of those things I never want to experience it. Never.
I remember I was either not trying to name drop here, but I was doing it at an event and Callan and Schaub were there. And I remember Callan, he was going through this. He was talking about it on podcast where like he'd wake up and he couldn't get out of
Oh,
bed. He couldn't
horrible.
step. So in my mind,
Horrible.
this is so long ago too, and I'm like, wow, plantar fasciitis can be such a debilitating thing that
Well,
like you can't step out of
and
bed when you
well, the
get out of
crazy
bed.
thing is, like when people hear about turf toe,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "Oh, he's got turf toe. Why'd he miss 3 weeks?" It's like, have you ever seen somebody with turf toe? It is gnarly.
Really? No,
Like
I
it is
haven't.
because basically, from my understanding, it's like when your toe bends and like too far back, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
torn ligaments. I'm not.
Ooh.
I'm sure I'm not 100% right here. Again, we've given legal
Yeah.
advice. Now we're giving medical advice.
Where we got pediatrics advice here as well.
Yeah, I mean, just come if you want to hear two guys talk about subjects they know nothing about. This is your place.
Not true. We know a little bit about everything, which is why this is so entertaining. A little bit about everything is better than
So,
nothing.
like, there's just these weird injuries, and plantar fasciitis is one for me. I'd have much rather gone through shoulder surgery again. Like, as
Ugh.
painful as that was, and at least there was a rehab for it. Like
Mm.
plantar fasciitis, you can do all of these tricks and all these things people tell you to do. The shit still hurts.
Oof.
Like it's horrible. I mean, just freaking. You never want to do it again. Like nothing's worth the risk anymore. Like you're like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Like,
Yeah,
dude, it's
right. You're like
crazy.
walking on next. So you mean when the toes are like bent backwards, right?
Yeah, for turf toe.
Yeah. Okay. So the only example I can feel of that is like, because I like to like tuck in at night on my sheet, so like my feet I'll like be up against my
When you go
comforter
to
like that.
when you go to a hotel
Hotel.
and
Yes.
horrible. It's a horrible feeling.
Horrible, right? So I'll wake up and I'm like, I can't bend my
No,
feet
no, man.
straight
I mean, like
anymore.
turf toe is a gnarly thing to see. Like,
Okay.
and again, you can see some guys if they wrestle a certain way, like
Yeah.
in the world you would be
Yep. Yep.
around,
Yep.
they can get like, where they get turf toe and
Yep.
but dude, people just hear these injuries, you're like, what's going on? Like when people go, he hurt his oblique again. It's like, guys, do you think about this? Anytime you even move a little bit to the side, if your oblique is like, you got a problem, it's horrible. It's like getting a broken rib. There's no fix.
Oh, it's terrible. We have to hard segue into another car topic because they're not quite done here. But I appreciate that these are great stories. People right now are laughing their ass off. We are getting them through their workday or through their chores, whatever it is. Here's a fascinating one for you. We were talking about GM Gate and whatnot, and we do have an email to get to next week because I'm going to break that down because there's some interesting stories there. But Tesla, dude, Tesla is going to be possibly introducing Apple CarPlay to the car. Did you know this?
Wonder why.
Interesting move considering what's going on in the world. Well, some might say they might need to up sales a little bit,
Yeah, that's probably true.
possibly. You know, so yeah, they're working to add it onto the car. Now, you've probably driven more Teslas or been around
Yeah.
them more than I have. It's going to be interesting to see how it interacts with the car itself because you need their operating system to be up at all times, right?
Yeah, essentially, I wonder if they could do, because they have such a large screen, I wonder if they could do like a
Split
a
screen
split screen of some sort. That'd be
or
kind
or
of
a floating
interesting.
screen over it.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I'm not sure if they, again, don't take tech, advice from a guy that's never.
Who has a night vision on an O3?
Yeah, I
but,
mean, look, I do have night vision and you don't. So, that would have helped when you were broken down. You could see what was coming at you at 95 miles an hour in Houston.
Oh, this is true.
So,
The sun was going down fast too. I was like, God damn,
get
I
off
would've
the
just snuck
road.
out
Get
here.
off the road.
I know. Panic.
So, this makes GM kind of look even sillier to me.
Indeed.
I think tech-wise, infotainment-wise, Tesla's probably been doing it the best for the longest. I mean, I'm not saying they're exactly the best right now. Probably still are. It's pretty flawless when you're in it. I see their move here, but I also ask, why didn't you do it sooner? If this is like
Yeah.
the move, like I thought your whole thing was we had the best user interface. That was sort of a sales point of Tesla in my book. I don't know why everyone else bought them, but I think the user interface would be a main reason. We were just having this conversation about Apple TV last night. Apple TV and Apple does a lot of great stuff UI for a guy like me. But you go to Apple TV and it's like one of the worst user interfaces of like Netflix and Amazon Prime and all that stuff. I think they just got it.
Really? You think so?
I think they just got it wrong. Like I think I'm not going to dive deep into this, Rob, but
Nick knew I was ready to like toss him up a question.
we're
But
not going to do any things on. But when we all look at this, one of the smartest tech companies in the car business is like, hey, we need to really look at CarPlay. I think that makes GM's move look even more nefarious.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right.
All about the money, right? The data, the money.
It looks like now, and I guess all of us probably thought there's something more to this GM story. Anybody that listens to us, of course, is probably like there's more to this GM story. But as you and I dive into it for next week's episode from some of the developers and people that sent you the email, what we're going to find is GM is doing this for basically some type of data collection cloud situation that they can build out and start to feed, insurance companies and sell data and all this kind of stuff and advertisers and all this crazy stuff. Where Tesla's like, we got a pretty good UI. I mean, we've kind of figured it out for the most part, but we still need Apple CarPlay because people just kind of want to hook their phone up and navigate that way. So this makes GM, I think, look a little bit more suspect than they already did.
Yeah. I want to end with a small truck segment about just small trucks. After that flat tire, I was getting home, went to Costco to get gas, and there was a Maverick in front of me. And I just like starting conversation with people because, you can tell when somebody bought a particular car because it's a cool car. You don't see a lot, and I don't see a lot of Mavericks personally. As I'd love to see more of them, but I just don't. So, I'm pumping gas, and I'm just like, dude, you like the Maverick? And he turned around, and he's like, I love this thing. Ask me anything you want. He was just ready to get asked questions about.
By the way, I love those people.
Love those people. And long story short, he immediately followed the podcast because I was like, dude, if you like cars, we have this podcast with a great friend of mine, and he put out his phone and said, what is it? Dude, this looks so cool. Follow right away. Shout out to that guy. Sorry, I forgot your name, sir. But he was telling me, man, he's like, this truck's amazing. It's one of the best trucks I've had. I don't need anything bigger. Like, go over the all-wheel drive. It gets great gas mileage, so on and so forth. Just giving me the spiel about how it's such a good truck. So then I started looking at him. And funny that I was at Costco because I saw, they had their little pamphlet or whatever, and I saw the Costco Car Care program or whatever. Are you familiar with this?
No, but I think the most egregious thing that's been said is you get your gas at Costco. So,
I'm sorry, you paid $5.05. What did you say, $5.05?
Hold on. That's state related. That's state.
Did you pay $5.05? Did you pay $5.05?
I go to Shell.
I go to Costco because I paid $253 for 93, which you can't even get.
Yeah, no, I'm out. We're about at the hour mark. No, I'm just. We kidding.
Are about the hour mark.
People do love Costco gas, man.
Listen, well, actually, I was in the CX-5. I lied. It wasn't in my car. It was in my wife's car. So
I was going to say, I don't know that you're going so quickly to Costco in your Volkswagen.
No, I dropped the car off and I was like, we got to go to this. Fuck this. I'm so pissed.
I'm
going
to
go
take mine to Shell.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go drop it off at Shell and just walk away. And whatever happens to it. No, so I looked into it, and you forget, kind of like your credit cards, they have all these different programs and partners as a part of an Amex or whoever it is. So I started looking. They have a portal, travel portal, car portal, the whole thing.
They have a lot of shit.
A lot of shit, dude. A lot of shit. So there is a pre-registered pricing with participating dealers.
Oh, I have. So they used to do this with Volvo almost exclusively, if I remember correctly.
Correct. As a matter of fact, Volvo, GM, Buick have some really big end of the year deals if you go through Costco. You basically get like a pre-registered or whatever filled out pricing agreement. You got to take it to the participating dealer, and basically it's like that's it. No frills, no nitrogen in your tires, that whole thing. A perk of being a member. I happen to be an executive member of Costco.
Oh, there you
go.
Big deal.
But, you get a couple extra, maybe a cup of coffee or a bottle of water on top of it all. But I wanted to ask you if you were familiar with it or had anybody that dealt with it because it just sounded interesting. I don't know. There's no exact percentage or whatever that you get off of MSRP, but they give you a recommended price to pay. If the participating dealer, they'll know if it doesn't honor that kind of a price or you're not likely to get it. They'll say, like, for instance, the Maverick XLT all-wheel drive, whatever, it was like, you should look to pay $37. you're not going to get 37 at this dealer, but that is what you should pay. So then I go to the dealer's website. It's about $7,000 more than the
Whoa.
price it should be. I'm like, okay, interesting. So then I started just going through it, and I'm like, this makes for a good topic because if we can get Costco on board, imagine this: we get Discount Tire and Costco to join the podcast.
Yeah. So anybody listening from Costco or Discount Tire, we would love to have you on the podcast and ask how we all can get a better deal.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go through it because they do used cars as well, dude. They have used car.
Yeah, we talked about the whole Amazon thing. I don't know how that's been rolled out. To be fair, I haven't really stayed up with it. There's some weird news coming out that people are getting a little worried about CarMax and if they're going to stay in the exact form they're in today.
Really,
there's some real pressurized stuff coming to the system where prices have gotten to the point that we know things are going to slow, right? They're going to slow down. But if they slow down enough, you still have, now you go from basically good inventory levels overnight to, there's a problem, right? And for everybody that doesn't know, I think you pay about 16% more to buy a car from CarMax than any used car dealer out there, right? So that's kind of how they've built their businesses. Hey, you don't come in here and negotiate. We make it easy. You don't have to talk to a salesperson. You just say, I like this car. Here's the deal. That's it. That's kind of how they got off the ground for those that weren't there. Now that's a lot of dealerships are like, this is the price. We don't negotiate, that kind of thing. I think you look at where we're at right now, there could be some purchases. There could be some investments. There could be, I bought 15% of this. I bought 20% of that. And then use it more, to elevate Costco's car program or Amazon's car program. I feel like in this used segment, we've sort of had this dominant player in CarMax. And I wonder over the next 12 to 24 months, if everything keeps playing out the way we think it's going to, which is you're going to see less sales and things like that, I wonder who's going to be looking for cash, right? I mean, Tricolor, we've already gone through that. That's a huge bankruptcy. You got the First Brands problem through private equity that's rippling through. There's going to be a lot of automotive things looking for cash. And I wonder because, Costco sits on lots of cash. Apple sits on lots of cash. Amazon has tons of cash. Google has tons of cash. I don't know that any of them are going to do anything. But there's going to be automotive things looking for big cash investment to take large percentages of the company. And I wonder where we kind of all shake out. Because there's only so many companies that have this much money.
Yeah.
So do they just let these things fail? Or do they go, give us 25%, give us 15% of the shares? What do they do? Right? Like, that's where I'm getting interested. Where does a guy like Berkshire Hathaway, who sits on like $1 zillion, not that he would ever be interested, but you got to figure automotive businesses take a lot of capital. Okay? You only have so many businesses globally. It's sort of like there's only so many people that can buy a sports franchise now. That number's smaller than ever because the numbers are so big. So when people go, oh, such and such is for sale, it's like, yeah, there's only like 15 people to talk to.
Yeah.
Right? That have that kind of money.
So speaking of that, the CarMax as like the car, just a dealership, big company, big brand or whatever. But then the manufacturers themselves, like for instance, Infiniti, we've talked about them a ton. Like, are we going to let that fail, or is somebody going to come in and swoop that up finally?
Well, everybody always wants to own a company. Now we've seen some just go away, right? Like Pontiac and those types of brands just went away. I think you could solve the Infiniti problem. I thought about this the other day. And I guess I'll leave this on the podcast for the end, but for anybody that stuck around, if Infiniti did small, medium, and large SUVs, they did nothing else, and they did 3 trim models each, basically a good, better, best situation, which means they only had to build 3 SUVs, and then they only had to have 9 trim models, basically. Don't you kind of fix Infiniti and then go on and spend the rest on marketing and, hey, we're the luxury brand you can understand, and we don't have. Don't you think there's something to do here? Just for all of you buyers out there, one of the problems is, and we've joked about Toyota. Excuse me. We've joked about Toyota. They have like 100 trim models, and I'm not here to debate Toyota. Toyota obviously sells a lot of vehicles and are doing well, but for these other brands, you can't keep going down the road of confusing,
I agree with you. And as a matter of fact, I will leave my opinion of that right here. If you bring this mofo back right here, it solves everything. You bring this
Oh,
FX35
dude, I was
track.
just telling somebody about this.
No way.
Yeah, but
This is my,
you can't bring that one back. You got to
no,
bring
no,
the
no, the one
original
before
one
this.
back.
Yeah, you got it before. I'm sorry. This is the first thing that came up was why I brought it, but I know you knew what I was talking about. This is hands down one of the best compact, midsize, whatever SUVs I'd ever driven, ever been in to this day. To this day.
Do you remember like the big thing that they did to like promote this is that you couldn't flip it. You could push the gas down as hard as possible and turn the wheel and it wouldn't flip over. Do you
I
ever
don't
remember
remember that
that?
for some reason. I
There's
don't.
probably demonstrations online. Because for those that weren't there, the big worry about SUVs at the beginning is they all flipped over. And magically, nobody ever like you never flipped in a Zuzu rodeo, but they always talked about flipping an SUV.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, damn, that was a 12. It was 2003. Those were the ones I think the original ones
Yeah,
that I thought so
I
good.
saw one recently. I pointed it out to my family. They didn't care.
What?
Well, I mean,
Might be
you
time
know,
to, what can you get in exchange?
yeah. My
Okay.
my girls have good taste. They're like, well, that's not a Ferrari. I'm like, well, sorry,
Ah,
sorry,
that's,
dude. Not everything's a Ferrari.
let me pull a Nick. Sorry. All right, my bad. My bad. I'm too pedestrian for you. This one, right? This one's that's the original. Looks
Yeah, it is
good.
so good, so
All right.
good.
Somebody needs to do this. Please listen to Clutch Culture and tell everybody. Share this with a friend. Tell everybody. Let's save infinity and bring back the FX35. I think it would heal the world.
Hey, didn't we
slowly
have an
but
email
surely.
about fluids or something?
Oh yes. We'll end with that. So shout out Chris C. He wanted to give a big shout out and say, hey, I just wanted to tell you I'm enjoying the podcast. He's not even much of a car guy, but because we have, by the way, everyone sticks to the end. Nick keeps saying, hey, for those of you that stuck around, everyone sticks around. That's the whole idea of listening to a podcast. You don't just stop halfway like a maniac. But let's see, so he's not a car guy. He wanted basically your opinion. He's picking up a 2020 Camry with about 4,000 miles on it,
Yep.
and he'd love for you to just let him know what is it that you do like when you're doing like you did on the Lexus. I'm gonna go ahead and change the fluids. It's new to me. It's used, but new to me. But I don't have like a record of this car. Fluids, oil, all the things that you might buy, even if it's low. I mean, 4,000 miles is so low
Yep.
on it. But even then, you would still probably change the fluids and
Yes.
everything, right?
Yes. You just don't know what the previous owners did. It's a nice, safe thing. The one thing I haven't tried that I'm going to probably try in the LX in my next oil change is that Pennzoil Ultra Platinum.
Okay.
It's called Ultra Platinum. They have a Platinum and then they have an Ultra Platinum. I basically got this from the Motor Oil Geek, so people know that's the kind of research I do. I'm not an oil expert.
Yeah.
In all my BMWs, I've been liquid moly from the beginning. That's kind of what I do. It makes me feel better. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you use something else? I'm sure.
Oh, whoa, why are
But
you coming at me like that? It makes me feel better. Okay, I'm gonna pay more, but it makes me feel better,
yeah,
and
it
that's
makes me
okay.
feel
It's
better.
okay.
So I think you have like, for the other fluids, you have Modal, you have Redline, those types of companies for transmission fluids and diff fluids and all that kind of stuff. I do think there's a difference if you go listen to the people that have been specializing in that world for 10, 20, 30 years. There is a difference. Okay. I know somebody's going to be listening to this and go, well, I use the Walmart oil or the Costco oil and I don't have cool. There is a difference. So if you care about your car, you want it to last. It sounds like this guy's talking about this Camry lasting. The one I am interested in trying that I haven't, I'll be very upfront, is the Ultra Platinum from Pennzoil, which seems to get rave reviews from all these lubrication specialists out there that have been doing this as a career. Like that's they test oils, they do things like that. There's a lot of fantastic stuff out there. There's also some stuff that is not on that level. And so if I'm going to do it, because I just changed the wiper blades on the LX. When you look at the best blades and then you look at the budget blades, you're not saving much. $5-10 here is not worth me. Like I like Bosch blades. They've worked well on my cars. That's what I got. But the guy kept trying to sell me the house brand, and maybe Bosch builds them. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I know that's
What guy? What we talking about? Like at whoever's doing the oil change?
no. I did it myself.
Okay.
I went to
Oh,
O'Reilly's,
gotcha,
and he's
gotcha,
like,
gotcha. Okay.
house brand this, house. I said, can you just
Pump the brakes.
point me to the Bosch that I need? I got three separate size blades on my LX.
Bougie.
24, 22, and 16.
22 like my rims.
And I couldn't find the 16 in the Bosch that I like, so I had to get a different Bosch. But some of this stuff for me, and I'll be the first one to admit it, is, yes, I know people private label products. I own a manufacturing business. I'm very aware of that. Some of it is also don't believe everything's the same just because somebody private labels for someone else. Now, in the parts business, I know we have a little bit of a different discussion because of die casting and whatever. But oil's not all the same. It's not all created the same. And people that do this for a living who run the tests in front of you on testing equipment will show you it's not the same. So don't be the guy or gal that goes, it's all the same. That's not true. That doesn't mean you can't use the cheaper oil. Okay, I'm not telling you if that fits your budget. I understand things are tight. You're trying to get it. But not every oil filter's the same. Not everything's the same. So go follow people like the Oil Geek and guys like that because they deserve. I'm not an expert. I just kind of try to find the people to trust. And so the Ultra Platinum is what I'm going to try on my next oil change. I might be doing one here in a week or two.
Already on the LX?
Buddy, this will be my second one.
Oh, what? How often are you doing? Every 1,500 miles? Or
No, I'm doing it anywhere, so everybody knows, every 3,000 to 4,500, okay, wherever it fits into my schedule.
Did we have a lot of people with opinions on the reels with the oil changes.
This is what I'll ask all of you that have some common sense.
Tell us in the comments.
Yeah, tell us in the comments, but I want to ask, if you really think oil changes are that expensive, I think you've gotten a little off base with car maintenance.
Yeah, we need to go back to EVs or bikes or something.
Yeah, you need to do something else.
Yeah,
you need to do something else. I mean, mine says 10,000. That's been debunked a million times by people much smarter than us. Don't do that, okay? And I think there is a reason to do things like oil and fluid changes on the next level when you are expecting to keep the car. And so it's just a part of whether I'm going to keep the car or not. I think you pass it forward, you pay it forward to the system, then I think you're going to get some better things on the way out, right? When you go to buy a car, hopefully that person cares and they got a bunch of records. And so I keep all that stuff. I keep records. I do all that.
I will say, Discount Tires never let us down, right? We're big fans. Their offering of windshield wipers every time you go, kind of annoying, but you know what? They've all been so good that I said, yeah, go ahead. I need some anyway. Just go ahead. Are they good quality, though? They're like OEM spec. Okay. The worst wipers I've ever had in my life.
Here's the deal. If you don't do it yourself, you deserve it.
You're absolutely right. Right.
I'm not going to. We're not doing this. We're not.
Hey,
we are not letting you off the hook.
I didn't ask you to feel bad. That's why I said I have to say it because it's on me. I said, yes, go ahead. And I'm like, this is trash.
Yeah.
On top of that, they left the plastic on the end of them. Luckily, I didn't use them because when I went back around to, they forgot something.
What do you mean the plastic on the end? Like the blade had a piece of...
The blade guard protector, when they took it out of the box, they didn't take it off of the blade. So if I'd used them, it would have scratched up the windshield.
That's crazy.
And I was like, that should have been my sign. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Hey, good thing we caught it before you used it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So then I proceed to not need the blades until the next time it rains. And I'm like, these are trash.
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference. Yeah. But I did yesterday, shot a video on it. I polished all my glass on the LX for the first time. Got a glass coating on every single piece of glass. New blades. Rained last night. I'm good to go.
Dude, what are the odds?
Well, I did look at the forecast. I did say, okay, winter's coming. Now, winter for us is a little different from winter for most people, but great thing to do before the season changes. So I'm in. I'm ready to go.
All right, Nick's ready to go. And we'll have some cool things to come before Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving, but you just got to stay tuned to hear what's going on at HyperClean and with Clutch Culture and other projects. But
we might have some apparel.
You know what? One of those things, it might be coming, so you got to stay tuned to the socials and the podcast. But yeah, apparel possibly with a way to connect online somewhere else outside of our social platforms. So a lot of things as we round out the year. But hey, man, this was an extended episode as well, like last week, which is great. People are going to love it. Leave us a comment that tells us whatever we asked you in the show. Please go answer it in the comments and leave us a review on Apple. We're up to like 40 reviews on Apple, 5 stars. You guys are great. Nick,
comment and like.
Comment, like, subscribe, share it with everybody you know. All those fun things. All right, we'll see you next week.
All right, guys.